Hey there, how's everyone doing? Yeah, I guess my question today, I mentioned to the group that I went to the Shaktipat over the weekend, and it was a really profound experience. It was basically just like 2 hours of meditation or so, and then the Siddha like did some body work during it. And I was kind of hoping for more of like the bliss and peace style stuff, but I kind of got the opposite. Which was, what it needed to be. And I think I'm just still trying to process basically like what happened for me and how to integrate. Like I can share more about like what I experienced, but it was basically on this same topic. It was like the same pain I've been sitting with but like intensified, like I had to sit with it all the way through and it was like it was like almost like the injury that had initially started this pain. Like I had to like sit through that over again and even like maybe more intensely. And then it finally started to like move like down towards my leg. And it was like really, really amazing. And then right at the end, like I felt like there was still more pain to deal with. And I guess like the things that I'm sitting with now is like I've had like an emotional hangover. Like I've felt like totally like wrung out, like really, really emptied out and like um of like just how to integrate really massive energy work in these types of environments. And then how to like I also feel like changed a bit from it. And so how to like take a breather with like my people around me while I try and reacclimate and figure out where I'm at, if any of that makes sense. So how to integrate big, big experiences and how to give yourself that breathing room.
Yeah, thanks, Carissa. Interesting stuff. I can share some ideas, but I'm just curious if the facilitator, I think you mentioned the SIDA, did they have any, takeaways, home practices, anything like that for you to consider? Or were
It's
you
very
just,
it's very basic. Just like grounding nature, earth, grounding diet. And yeah, and I think it was like my first time in that type of environment as well. Um, but I think, yeah, it was just basically like the same basic stuff that we know, which works, right? Like I'm gonna go in nature today and integrate as well. But just like if anyone's had that experience of like having like an energy hangover.
oh yeah. Yeah, okay. So of course the basics are really where it's at. So lean into all of the stuff that you know that already it works for you and your system when it comes to grounding, taking it easy, self-care, etc. Um, so when we have sort of huge energetic openings, healings, maybe it's a psychedelic trip, maybe it's a profound Kundalini awakening or rising experience, um, the days and weeks that follow, it can almost be like the nervous system needs to take it easy and cool off, energetically cool off. And that can bring about simultaneously period of longing to rest, maybe not interested so much in intense spiritual practices, as well as a lot of emotional stuff coming up, brain fog, um, feeling maybe a little depressed, a little down. Um, and this is generally speaking the sort of it's the price of accelerated awakening experiences. There's some sort of hangover period, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as we just address self-care. Ideally, give yourself an outlook for this idea of integration for like months, maybe a year. Not that you'll be in this hangover state for that long, but just note that it's not like you can rush integration. It's not that you can rush getting grounded. And it's also not that you can exhaust all of the benefits from such an experience within just a few days. It's going to play out over, in some respects, you can say over the rest of your life. It all plays out. So, for example, I had some profound energetic experiences a few months ago. Only now am I starting to take note of some significant changes that are taking place as a result of those experiences. So it just unfolds over a long period of time. And this goes for everybody. Generally speaking, give yourself outlooks of like years for this process. It makes everything a lot more easy. Um, don't think that, by next week it's all going to be, fantastic as well. If we give ourselves a more of a broader outlook, it puts things into context for how profound this experience really is, how profound it really is. So profound experience like what you had, it should take some time for integration. It really should, because it's such a, meaningful experience that you had. It's such a meaningful journey that we're on. So it should take some time. So that's one thing, an attitude of just broadening our timeline a little bit. Journaling, writing, exploring, just following our intuition towards the right things that we need. And also know that as long as you're focusing on self-care and not neglecting your body, your system, you're not consuming things that you know you should be consuming, you haven't gone off the rails in your, say, your behavior and whatnot. You're kind of just, keeping it simple, keeping it safe. If you just do that, whatever you need to reap, all the benefits, all the integration just kind of happens on its own over time at the perfect pace. So you can't get it wrong. Just take it easy on yourself a little bit here, and know also that it's different for everybody, right? It's different for everybody. Fortunately, we have the general understanding now that whatever's coming up is coming up to be healed and released. So the hangover you're experiencing is not something going wrong. This is part of the process. So self-care, very, very important. I hope that can help you. I know I didn't really give you too many specific things because I really think it's just about the basics. It's really about the basics. Eating well, right? Just doing a bit of socializing, connecting with the body in a just basic ways, as well as trying to live our highest truth, right? So if you had some realizations that say we're all one, or you had some realizations about forgiveness or love or creativity, try and live in alignment with those values that you've awakened to, right? Bring them to the forefront of your consciousness and let them lead you and guide you, right? So just some ideas that are coming to me to share. Thanks, Carissa.